Yeah, focus on my face.
I'm focusing.
Focus on my face.
You know what? It's not always about you. It's about monogamy, okay?
That's the great thing about polyamory. You can always blame someone else.
That is that's not okay. Not okay.
Yeah.
I need you, please, for the love of God. I check your hair. Speaking of, it's a little flippy there.
You're a little flippy. Hello!
And welcome back to
What's the safe word?
I'm Am.
I'm Mr. Christopher.
And today,
we're talking about monogamy?
us. Us.
Because there's no me in monogamy.
Where?
It's actually in monogamy. I mean, we say monogamy. The English language weird. Okay, it's a weird language.
There's also a me in polyamory.
That is not correct.
Anyway, today's episode is covering a trending topic this last week on my social media. And it was all about why do humans try and fail at monogamy?
Yeah, because people cheat all the time.
True. Or people just want to try something different but don't actually think about the communication and the different hurdles it might get in your way. And as a polyamorous couple, which is, that's, hello. Hi. There is an us in polyamorous.
Oh, there is.
Yes, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Look at us. Look at us. Huh? Look at us.
So this topic feels especially topical for us.
Emphasis on the top.
Yeah.
No, I'm the top.
No, I'm the top.
No, I'm the top.
No, I'm the top.
This is why we're polyamorous.
We need more bottoms.
So we're gonna get to the bottom of today's episode, and we have Helix Sleep to thank for sponsoring this episode.
We need a bigger bed.
We will. And we'll get into that later, but first let's get right into the topic and why it was trending. Now, the headline of the piece by iNews itself, that was written by Kate Lister, a doctor and all sorts of things around sex, says it all. And it states, as a species, we are not completely faithful and have never been. Truer facts have never been stated on the trending page.
Yeah, if you look at the 50% rate of divorce.
And the trending topic sparked a lot of debate because people are, I mean, when you start criticizing people's relationship types, or even on videos that we've done about polyamory, a lot of monogamous people came out and said like, oh, I can't believe all the monogamy shaming.
Which we're not doing.
Exactly. But it does raise a question of why is monogamy such a norm in our society, and is it actually better for your relationship?
I don't know. Is it?
Good thing someone researched. I'm the someone.
No, I'm the
Nah,
top.
no.
I'm the top.
Well, you can be a top and a researcher. Daddy, first off, what even is monogamy? I feel like we have to kind of set the stage for that.
I think monogamy is just one and one person equals two, and that's it.
I feel like this one, maybe this one is like that, you know, like a little circle, and then this one goes in, yeah. Babies! Jokes aside, people can be different genders and identities and still have a monogamous relationship.
Can we even do this on YouTube?
We'll find out. No, the dictionary term for it is being married to one person at a time, which feels very archaic.
Wait, being married to one person at a time, that leaves the door open to having multiple times.
Speaking of open.
So that actually right there is saying monogamy isn't going to work.
Technically true. Whereas Urban Dictionary actually gets the terminology a little bit better for once than Google did, stating, monogamy is the custom or condition of having only one mate in an intimate relationship, of being dedicated to a single partner.
Like most people's parents.
True. I mean, and that's where I think we get this monogamy set into us, is not only through like religion and pop culture, but also through our parents. Like growing up, the thought of my parents breaking up or divorcing or even having relationships with another person was like mind-blowing. I would have been distraught and upset only because it's ingrained in us that it should be a man and a woman and a dog and a picket fence and maybe a kid or two. Like, we have such a weird archaic style in relationships in our society.
And I come from a divorced family, so my parents divorced when I was 5, and then both remarried and stayed married to the same people, so they continued a monogamous relationship with their next partner.
Wild.
But that's also where we get and learn this behavior of how that relationship type is supposed to work for everyone.
So today we're going to break down if science backs these facts around monogamy being a norm, and maybe what we can learn from being non-monogamous. But first...
But sex.
Oh.
Being non-monogamous.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But sex.
But sex. Great segue into
But sex.
the sponsor, Daddy. Thank you. Yeah, great segue.
On a Helix mattress. They're great for butt sex.
Which brings us to today's sponsor, who's making this topic not only possible, but hopefully putting this conversation to bed. Helix Sleep. Now, Daddy, what is Helix Sleep?
Helix Sleep is my favorite premium mattress.
And everybody's different, but Helix knows that, which is why they have this sleep quiz. So we could put in our heights, our weights, different sleeping positions, and firmness preferences. Helix had something that was perfect for me and Daddy in the bedroom. And we got the Dusk Lux, which Daddy now has. And Daddy, how are you enjoying it?
I love my Dusk Lux. Say that 3 times fast.
Dusk Lux.
Dusk Lux.
Oh,
Dusk Lux.
Yep. And since getting our mattresses, I've actually never had sleep that was this good. I had an old mattress that had some springs in it, and because Helix has springs and this lovely like cushioning sensation, they're not only the best mattress for sex, but they're just the best mattress to get a good night's sleep.
And before I got this mattress, I had my other mattress for over 10 years.
Plus, Helix not only ships to you very, what, Daddy?
Quickly.
But also does so for free in a nice little box that as soon as you open it, it goes.
I had no idea they could put a whole, it's like a Pringles can, and it just go, but then it's so firm when you're on it.
ASM, are you ready for comfort? If you've ever bought a mattress, there is that nagging sensation of like, ooh, is this the right mattress for me? I don't know if I like this. So we especially like that they have what, Daddy?
100-night sleep trial.
So over 3 months for free that you get to try it out. And if you don't like it, you can ship it back and you get a free refund.
And don't forget, Helix has a 10-year warranty.
So you get all of that peace of mind, you get a great mattress, and you get to support the channel here. Check out Helix Sleep at the link down below using offer code WATT for $200 off your own mattress and some free pillows on us. So thank you again to Helix Sleep for not only putting this topic to bed, but hopefully letting us bring other people into our bed consensually and non-monogamously. In fact, Daddy has a date after this, so like I'm trying to get through these topics
Okay,
quickly.
let's go.
I'm going. So we kind of touched on it in the opening a little bit, but at first I want to talk about why we think monogamy is the norm. And again, I say norm with these little bunny ears because while we might be rabbits, we don't need this to be a norm. And a bunny foo hopping through the forest, find
ducking
another
up the
partner
field mice
and just
bopping
fucking them on the head.
Wow, you have different lyrics.
I said you said what?
bopping them.
Oh,
They were bopping
they're
them
into
on
impact
the
play?
head. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cute. Now for me, my monogamy norm kind of came from the romanticism of Disney movies. And I mean that quite seriously. With every Disney movie having some sort of song about finding your true love or true love's kiss, like kids are ingrained that they need to find one partner and one partner only who's their only one.
Their one true love.
I think that everybody has many true loves. Again, those fucking bunnies, I swear.
I mean, if you look at love as an emotion, you love many people in your life. Friends, families, brothers, sisters, and all in different ways. So why is there just this one love that you have with one person for the rest of your life?
Again, it's a romanticized ideal that we get from kind of puritanical views. And we look at even religion that talks about having that one partner and you can't cheat on them, there's no adultery, or else you're going to hell and you're gonna, die. Well, you die and then you go to hell, I guess. But either way.
And I think a lot of people do stay together in monogamous relationships for children. They want a stable home to raise children, and it keeps people oftentimes who don't want to stay together for a long period of time.
And in a lot of the studies around this, we call this paired bonding, where you're staying with someone in marriage because you want to have an intimate relationship and you want to stay pure in that regard.
Marriage is why we are here today.
Really? Are you proposing?
Princess Bride.
No, I know, but
Marriage.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
some seem to think that people that stay in these paired bonding are doing it, like you said, for kids in some instances and finding not only the right genetic lottery, but making sure that you have a stable household. But also, there's this whole thought that the coagulation of cum happens because you're only supposed to have one person putting it in there at a time, which is just,
So like a cumsicle?
no, what?
I don't know. You said coagulation. Coagulation. Congratulations.
I mean, you know when like the cum's usually like a little kind of thick, you know,
Yeah,
with multiple
creamy.
C's. They think that happens so that it blocks other ejaculate from getting in there and blocking the cervix. That's why
It's like it's bumping them
No,
out of the
no,
way.
this is my egg. This is my egg. Get out of here.
here.
Some even think that there's something called sexual dimorphism, which is the fact of being different sizes. Like when you see male gorillas and female gorillas are sometimes twice the size. They think that the bigger the size difference, the less likely they are to be monogamous.
Yeah. Ooh.
And even those that reference the animal kingdom and anthropologists looking into monogamy say that there's very few animals that actually genetically bond, which is what it's called when two mate for life.
So, like seahorses,
Actually, yeah, seahorses are one of them, as well as,
sea monkeys.
I don't know if that's true, as well as beavers, gray wolves, gibbons, what is a gibbon?
I don't know, but it's a given.
Bald eagles, and macaroni penguins.
Wait, what's a macaroni penguin? Is that a penguin you eat? It sounds delicious.
They are impossible to get away from their partner.
Are they cheesy?
No, but they are known to not cheat.
No, that didn't work.
Yeah.
So then it sounds like it's not us saying it, it's science that's saying that doesn't support monogamy.
While societal monogamy is the norm, it is not what is the best for us as a species. In fact, there are studies recently that show that CNM, or consensual non-monogamy, is actually better for your relationship on the whole.
CNM or CNN?
CNM. This just in. Consensual non-monogamy is actually
Cool!
it's good for your relationship. Can lead to increased satisfaction in your overall relationship and just better content relationships for both people involved.
Ah,
In America, it's estimated that 1 in 5 would be totally down for consensual non-monogamy. Funny enough, is the same percent of people that own a cat. So if you have a friend that owns a cat, they might also be non-monogamy.
I wonder if this has anything to do with millennials living at home longer too.
I don't know.
Because they're not going to get married and move their new bride or husband into
There are
their
a lot
parents'
of
house.
facts that factor into this, and I only have so many details. So cats got my tongue.
And if you have a cat, you're probably into it.
You might be the perfect person for CNM. More at 11. Dude, now on to the weather. What's the weather doing?
It's raining cats and dogs.
And within these studies, Psychology Today also broke down the 5 different kinds of consensual non-monogamy.
Ooh, there's 5.
There's 5. Can you guess one?
Polyamory.
Correct. And what is polyamory?
Polyamory is having multiple romantic partners with everyone's consent.
Yeah, with the other types of CNM, including swinging, which is when you're having sex with multiple people, maybe with your partner or without. You're just kind of loosey-goosey between there, but still consenting.
Do you need a sling for that?
Yes, at least a sling or a swing.
sling helps to swing.
Something that moves back and forth and usually makes this sound.
What about open relationships?
Absolutely. And that's where you are in a very intimate, emotional relationship with one person, and there might be an openness there where you have relationships with other people, but it might not be super romantic. There's also polygamy, which is the practice of engaging in multiple romantic and sometimes sexual relationships with the consent of all involved.
And this was actually outlawed and made illegal in most states.
I get that there might be like some legalities around like getting married, but it's so strange when we try to stop people from just loving others.
Yeah, and this is why the Mormons moved to Utah. And lastly, there's monogamish.
Yeah, and that's where you're in that relationship with someone, but you allow that flexibility to kind of do whatever you want within consenting boundaries, and it doesn't count as cheating to your relationship. So it's kind of monogamy, but not really. And that was kind of popularized by people like Dan Savage and other sex columnists that just kind of push people to explore, but still stay in that committed
Monogamish relationship.
Exactly.
And that's what I feel lots of people do in order not to break up when a partner kind of strays outside.
And that's totally fine. In fact, across the studies by Psychology Today, the want of the consensual non-monogamy and the practicing of it was consistent across the board as far as people being happier, regardless of age or race, religion, or just backgrounds in general.
Compersion.
Compersion. Though it was stated that gender and how you identify, especially in the LGBTQ spectrum, did influence consensual non-monogamy a lot, with the specific fact saying that the consensual non-monogamy in gay men specifically was somewhere around 32%.
Yeah, and I tried to, in my early years, pattern most of my relationships on my parents, thinking I had to have that one true love, and it did not work out well.
Excuse me?
It wasn't with you. No, wait.
I'll just see you later.
And in fact, I feel most homosexuals fall into that trap trying to compare their life with a heteronormative sort of lifestyle.
And also that transgressiveness of like, ooh, we're being sexy and adventurous and open sometimes kind of makes it hotter and more wanted, I feel like. I don't know. Like for me, I like not being in that monogamy sort of straight picket fence, wife, husband, dog relationship. Although I could use a dog. Can you get a dog?
Yeah, I've been wanting a dog forever.
Right here.
Yeah, I've got a puppy. I love a dog though.
Wait, you're replacing me?
No.
In the
No.
arms of
Polyamorous.
the angel,
I can love more than
fly
one puppy.
away. So while this is in no way trying to break up anyone in a happy, fun, wonderful, monogamous relationship, there are many things you can learn. In fact, 5 main things that came from a lot of these studies that you can learn from consensual non-monogamy.
The first one being it favors direct communication.
People in consensual non-monogamy just are better at communicating. It is getting into that area of just talking about what you want, what you need, and why. Like, if your partner is amazing and wonderful in every single facet, but you're looking for someone that's a bit more dom, maybe even a little bit more kinky, that non-monogamy might be what helps you guys really bridge the gap in what could cause some bumps in your relationship.
And being able to speak your truth to your partner without the fear of judgment and being in trouble really helps your relationship grow.
There's one specific word, and we bring it up all the time, Daddy. What is it?
Compersion!
Which is just the opposite of jealousy. To get the jealousy, get those cobwebs out of that. You know, let your partner do something with someone else and be happy about it, because they're gonna come back to you so much happier, so much more trusting. It shows that you guys have a stable relationship and you trust each other very, very strongly.
And truthfully, usually it's your partner's doing something with someone else that you actually don't even want to do with them. So they come back happy, you're watching Netflix, you're happy too.
You better not be watching that show without me, though.
I know. That's where I cheat
That's
on you.
not confirmed.
That's how I cheat on you.
Netflix cheating. The next one is actually an analogy, and it states that fire needs air and oxygen to grow. So people in a relationship need space in order for that relationship to grow. Having space to do your own thing and grow as your own person makes you come back to a relationship so much happier.
What are you doing now?
I thought you were.
Why are you not doing it with me?
Oh God!
Yeah, we have to do
getting
everything
smaller,
together.
getting
Everything
smaller.
together.
Why don't you love me? The next one is it takes a village.
Which kind of piggybacks on the fire analogy, being that you can't be everything for your partner.
Having that expectation on your partner that they have to be everything for you is overwhelming.
And can cause a lot of duress, distress, and jealousy if someone else is saying, oh, I wish I could do that, or I wish that you could do what this person does. Having those expectations put on other people lessens the load across the board and does lead to better non-monogamous relationships that are just more open and honest. The fourth point is just being able to manage jealousy. And that piggybacks on compersion a bit. But when we're able to talk about our wants and needs and also balance our partner or partner's wants and needs, it shows you that you can look internally. You can actually be introspective about why something bothers you sometimes, which is a very complicated task and a trait that is, when you figure it out, very beneficial to managing a relationship.
And don't get us wrong, jealousy does happen. And even in polyamorous relationships, it happens. It's a natural emotion.
But when you're able to step back, be introspective, or even see yourself from like an outward perspective and be like, oh, this thing here is why I'm jealous or why I'm upset. The fact that my partner left the house without cleaning up after themselves, or they didn't do the dishes, or I had to fold the laundry again, or they watched that Netflix show without me. That's what I'm upset about. I'm not jealous. I'm
And
just
being
disappointed.
Able to communicate that in a calm way is very important.
And the last one, a bit more complicated, is thoughtful transitions beat messy breakups. And this means that being able to transition out or into relationships beats just breaking up. Breaking up is hard, it's hurtful, it's just stressful. But people that are able to be in that CNM and communicate and say, hey, maybe we should take a break, and like, I love you so much, but like our fizzles, you know, it's a little, my fire needs some air, you know, so that we can come together and have that spark again.
And most relationships come to an end at some point, whether by death or...
Jesus.
But managing how those transitions go makes everyone's lives easier without being mean and vindictive and mad about it.
Or traumatic for that, right?
Or traumatic.
Yeah, I mean, that's... The relationships I've had in my life that have ended super, super well were always an open or monogamish relationship where our communication was good, and we came to that point where we're just like, I'm just not into these things that you're super into, or we're just not into each other anymore. And that's okay, but like, we had such a nice time, we learned so much together, and it allows you that space to grow as a person, but also as partners, and hopefully friends after the fact if you were to break up.
And you should always look at the relationships you've had and are in the past as what was great about them, what drew your love for that person, and revel in that.
So, in closing, while we're not trying to pull you out of your monogamous relationship, we are trying to instill that openness is not a bad thing. And that our society, while it considers it the norm, doesn't mean that it's the right way to do it or that it's the only way to do it.
But it does look like the trend is growing for the next generation.
It is, and that's partly because we have more open conversations like this. There's more accessible information, and hey, there's polyamorous people out there setting some other norms that hopefully start a trend, and actually did because the whole Twitter thing. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this conversation, Daddy, what can they do?
You can subscribe to our channel and ring that bell.
And you can leave a comment down below of what you think. What do you think some trending topics we should talk about might be next? Or what kind of relationship are you in and how does it work for you? But regardless of being monogamish or monogamous, always have a safe word. And today's safe word is...
Come Persian!
Oh, there's a lot of... How many U's was in that?
Come.
And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye! But don't leave a comment down below that we're trying to break up your monogamous relationship.
Yeah, well,
we are not. If you have a monogamous relationship, you're happy, we're happy for you. That's great.
So true. And hey, if you're having a hard time, getting over this topic, maybe you're having a hard night's sleep, maybe you're just looking for a unicorn in your life. That third. Maybe you just need a unicorn. Where can they get a unicorn shirt,
They're
Daddy?
very rare, but you can get them from the safe word shop down below.
Yeah. Not even a subtle plug.
Never let a unicorn give you a blowjob. They'll poke your eye out.
No. Cut.